Hey guys, I'm Tony from the Square Genius, and today we're going to take a look at the Chrome plugin SEOspace. So this is going to be my basic review. It's put together for beginners. So we're going to have a broad look at SEOspace. We're going to look at if it's cost effective, how it actually helps in terms of achieving SEO goals, and how the overall interface works. And what the back-end dashboard looks like as well. So let's dive in. First of all, this is the SEOspace main website, and then you have here install the plugin. So essentially, it's a Chrome plugin that you're going to install, and once you do, you get this widget up here. Now, first of all, let's just have a quick look at the billing, how the kind of subscription plans work. So for me, it suits me best to be on the Pro plan. If you are a designer and you have multiple websites, multiple clients, you really want to get into SEO, or you want to do a big kind of push on offering this, you might want to look at the expert plan. I'm not looking at this one today. I'm only looking at the Pro. I did start off with the DIY plan, and I've since moved over to the Pro plan because we do have some extra features. So let's just have a quick look. Also, you can get a better discount if you go for the annual plan, which I think is just, saves you money. Why not? As most subscriptions, if you can do that, it's always wise. So a quick look, we can see here in the table that on the Pro plan, we do have a few more extra bits and pieces. So for a start, the automatic site audit, you get 500 pages on the Pro plan. You only get 100 and none on the free. Also, we have the credit difference. So on the Pro, we get 100 credits. On the DIY, you only get 10. Now I'm going to show you what that means in terms of credits, what you can get, what you can't. But don't worry, it doesn't mean that your plugin won't work if you don't have any credits or anything like that. It's just an extra bonus. So yeah, we'll dive into that. Everything else here is the same. So the keyword rank, backlinks analysis. Yeah, so these are extra add-ons. At the moment, I don't use these. I do use some other tools for my keyword rank tracking and searches. So you might want to use other tools along with this, or you might want to keep everything in one place and use the add-ons, which are fairly good to add on. So local SEO tools, that's exactly the same as well. PDF reports. Now this is a good one if you want to offer SEO to your clients and you want to create a PDF report monthly. This is really helpful. You can download the report and you can just plonk your logo on there and away you go. It's not like going to take you hours and hours to put the report together. You can just simply export it from the dashboard. So this is a really good feature, one that I use very often. So the Pro is definitely good for having that with the PDF reports. And then scanning draft password protected sites. So essentially the plugin works as like a scanner, and I'll show you the actual plugin in a little bit. So this kind of looks at scanning pages within the Squarespace editor. If you want to scan pages that are only password protected or they're draft pages, which I do a lot because obviously you're working on that page before it goes live, then it's a really useful tool to be able to scan that on the draft page. So this is another one of the main reasons I went over to the Pro. And on there, obviously, we've got the option to add extra users as well. So if you've got a couple of members of your team that you want to add on, you can do that, which is $10 a month, which is quite fairly priced, I think. So that's a very quick run through the plans. You don't have to start with any of these plans. You can go straight onto the free, have a feel for it, have a little look around, have a play, and then you decide what's best for you. As I said, for me, I'm a website designer. I design a lot of websites. I do offer SEO, but only to a select amount of clients, and they're usually clients that I have continued website work with. So for me, the Pro plan is the best one. Also, it does only give you up to 3 websites, but in saying that, you can remove websites, add new ones in, take others out. So you can generate reports. You don't have to stick to the same 3 websites. And I'm going to dive in and show you how that works now. Okay, so Let's go over to the SEOspace dashboard. So once you've downloaded your plugin, you get access to this. This is mainly your account. You've got your account settings and details here, billing information, and then we've got a nice snapshot of website analytics and the SEO performance here. And as I said, so on my plan, I get 3 websites. At the moment, I'm only using 2. So I'm going to show you how you add a new website. So if we go to this drop down here and we go audit a new website, I'm just going to pop this one in. This is one that I've created that we can use. So you just paste the URL, hit continue, give it a couple of seconds, and then it's going to ask to connect to Google Search Console. I would definitely do this if you have access to the client's. This is just going to be able to give you more analytics, more data, and it works really well with SEOspace. It's a no-brainer. So hit next. It recommends an image size. So this is when it scans the images on your website. 250 KB I would recommend as well, because that's just the best practice. So just hit next on there. And then it gives you options to skip certain pages. So sometimes you'll notice that websites on Squarespace, if you have a blog on there and you've got lots of tags and lots of categories, you'll have that URL that has your website blog /+ this tag and that tag. I wouldn't recommend scanning any of those pages. Just scan the standard pages without the tags, and it will pull in those automatically usually. So yeah, but if there are any that you just don't want to scan, you just tick them and then it will get rid. So then you click Start Site Audit, and this can take a few minutes. It depends how big the website is. If you've got a huge website, it'll obviously take a little longer. And you'll get an email as well as soon as that is finished. So we're just going to wait a little while for that website to come through. And you'll see this little progress bar here, so you can just kind of sit and wait until it goes through all the pages. And what this is doing is it's scanning all those individual pages on your website, and it's going to combine basically all the data, all the things it would like you to do to improve your SEO, and it's going to give you some prompts, it's going to give you some recommendations, which I'm going to show you shortly. Okay, so the audit has finished and we can now click See Results. And then we're going to get this lovely little snapshot. We have an overall score. So this website is scoring 63 out of 100. So it's telling us that it needs some work. And then because we connected to Google Search Console, we've got a traffic overview and some of the top pages here. And then if we scroll down, we've got some more analytics that we can look through just as a nice little snapshot. And then we can go for 28 days. It gives you an average position, the impressions, etc. So now, okay, so how do we look at improving the website? So there's a few kind of routes we can go. So we've got these recommended next steps, which is really, really useful. So this is telling us to use the plugin. So that means we can have a look at scanning individual pages and improving them even on the Squarespace editor, which I will show the plugin in this video as well. And then view high priority tasks is something I definitely recommend. So if you go into here, we have SEO and AOI tasks, and then it's going to give you a list of things to improve across the site. So let's, for example, have a look at pages not showing on Google, which is quite an easy one to do. So what we've got here is a list of web pages from the website, and it's telling us that none of these are actually showing on Google, so we need to request indexing, and that's fairly quick to do. So you can just individually select that, go onto Google Search Console, paste the URL of that page, and then get that indexed. So that's just one of the tasks as an example, and these will change. So once you've finished doing, say, lots of these tasks, it might take you a couple of hours, it might take you a week, it depends on what's there. But then what you can do is go back and do a new website audit, and then it's all refreshed and you can have a look at the improvements. And then, we've got things like pages with thin content. So pages that just don't have enough content on there to be kind of get the attention of the search engines. So we can go in here and we can see which pages don't have enough content. We can view the scan of that page, which again I'll show you later on in the video what the plugin looks like. So you can make a note of these, or you can kind of just use this dashboard, keep going, go back to the page, add some more words, and here we've got a hint to make sure there's 300 plus words on the page. So it's all kind of laid out for you. It's a nice kind of checklist, to-do list, if you like. And these are dead simple things that you can do fairly swiftly, and you can improve your website in not a lot of time. So that's kind of the immediate task section. And then we've got some other options. We can view all the tasks, which aren't, all of them aren't the priorities. We can see the SEO scores on individual pages. So if we click into that, we then get this list of scores. So you can see the ones that are red are very low scores, they're orange for medium, yellow and green, obviously very good. So if you can get your pages, in the yellow and greens, you're doing really well. And then we have down here, we have some more options. So that's kind of a bit of a brief overview of some of the immediate tasks that you can do. Again, this is another way to get over to your scanned pages. So we've already seen that. So there's some different ways. SEO tasks again. So this is all under the audit. External scans. So these are the scans that have happened on the website. So that's the basics of the audit. Then we have a really handy tool here, which is the keyword research tool. So Keyword Explorer, I think this is a real great feature of SEOspace. You can type in any keyword in here. For example, let's type in, because this is a blinds company, let's type in external louvers, and this is a UK website, so we're going to go UK. And then if we hit, you can choose phrase match or exact match. We'll just go for phrase at the moment. Hit search. And this is then going to give you the average search volume. It's going to give you the average cost per click of this keyword and difficulty, the search intent, so whether it's a transactional or commercial. It can also be an informational keyword. And what that means is usually if it's an informational keyword, you kind of would look to use that keyword, for example, on a blog or articles on the site. If it's commercial or transactional, it's possibly going to be a product or a landing page is where you want to use that keyword. And then we have this position. So it's telling me where this particular website ranks for this keyword. So it is a keyword that this site uses. And then below here, we're going to get a list of related keywords. Now, I could spend all day on this because it is so detailed. It's really useful. It gives you ideas of keywords that you're perhaps not using. It tells you the difficulty. So, for example, 11 is a very low keyword in terms of difficulty. The volume is 30. You don't necessarily need to be going for keywords that are in the 100 volume. You can go for the lower volume and you can still gain some leads that way because the keyword difficulty is low. This example, search intent, so that's an information. So this would be great as a blog, for example. It's possibly a keyword that we'd rank really well for. I definitely recommend using the Keyword Explorer. It's possibly the most favourite feature of SEOspace for me. Again, just because of that detail that you get, and it really does help you plan for the future. So, definitely recommend that. One of my favourite parts. Next, we have competitor analysis. Now, this is also a big one for me. So we can type in here a competitor. So your client, let's say, has 3 or 4 competitors. You want to see how their website is doing and the keywords that they're ranking for. So then that improves your strategy. So let's say, for example, let me think of a website. This is another one I've made, and they are kind of slightly competitors. So they're both in the kind of same industry. So I'm just going to type that in. There we go. So this is giving us the overall performance of this competitor's website. So organic traffic, is very good. The total keywords, 267, domain authority, kind of on the middle side, and then 224 backlinks. So this competitor is looking very good. And then below we've got a list of the top keywords from this website. So obviously this is the website's name, and then we've got some other keywords down here. So you could then use this information, start to work on your site or your client's sites, and use the keywords that they're ranking for to try and compete, try and create better pages with more content. So yeah, I'd absolutely recommend the competitor analysis. And again, you can export these lists as well, so you can report back to your clients or just keep a note of it. So yeah, Keyword Explorer and competitor analysis, definitely up there in my top favourite things on SEOspace. Now we've got keyword tracking as well. Now this is something I haven't used. It's fairly new on SEOspace, but it is an add-on, and I believe it is $20. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I actually use some other third parties for this. I also use Keywords Everywhere, which is really good value for money. So it depends on your budget, depends what you'd like to do with it. But yeah, we do kind of have that option if you want to dive even deeper into the keyword tracking. Blog post ideas. Now this is included in the Pro plan. I'm not actually sure if it's on the DIY plan. We need to check that. But this is another really useful feature. So blog post ideas, we can enter a description of the business. You can enter a couple of keywords, and it will provide a full spreadsheet of recommended blog posts. And then what you can do is you can use that list and you can say, put it into ChatGPT or any other AI program, and you can ask ChatGPT to create the blogs based on the information that this gives you. So it's really proactive, really, really useful tool. So I definitely recommend this. I think I might have a search history here that we can have a look at. No, I don't. Sorry. But yeah, to save time on the video, I'm not going to go through typing it all up. But it's, yeah, definitely worth using. Keyword lists. This is if you want to create your own list within SEOspace of the keywords that you've been looking at. You can then create different lists, keep them all organised. That's totally up to you. I tend to use Google Sheets. So yeah, it's just an extra feature. This might be useful. Backlink analysis, again, is another add-on that I haven't actually used. This is something that I might look into. I'm probably sort of 60% there. Again, it's a budget thing. It is, I think, $20 extra. So on top of the already monthly, if that's how you use your subscriptions, it might be a little bit on the pricey side. But yeah, this, I mean, if you don't know about backlinks, these are links on other websites. You might want to use guest posts. You might want to use local listings, which is really going to help your ranking, because what we need to do is tell search engines that your website is a good, trustworthy website. And by having backlinks on other websites, you then gain some more trust. And the more of those you have on high DA websites, the better for your SEO. And this is obviously going to give us an analysis of how our backlinks work, how they're doing, and yeah, how you can kind of upgrade your SEO by pushing more into the backlink area. It depends what stage you're at. If you just want a tool that's just going to give you a little push and a little helping hand, you might not need to add this sort of thing onto SEOspace at that stage. Local SEO as well is another add-on. So if you have a client or your website and you really rely on local clients, I definitely recommend using this. I don't. I'm a kind of global web designer, so I don't really rely on that local aspect. So I don't have this included in my plan. But definitely want to have a look at if you do have a local need there. So that's again, a bit of a brief look on the dashboard and what you get behind the scenes of the actual plugin that works on Google. So you kind of got two parts. You've got this, which is your dashboard. Then we have the plugin on Chrome. So let's have a look at that. So I'm going to go to this live website, and this is the Chrome plugin here. And we have this big, so once you've installed this, we have an on and off button, which is really helpful. When it's turned on, you'll see this little icon here. And obviously that's the dashboard that we've just seen. So you can go back there, and we've got some really useful tutorials that SEOspace have put together. So they're definitely worth having a look at as well. So we've switched it on. Now, all we do is select, and we can move me out of the way. So you give it a couple of seconds to load, and then we have this lovely little interface which gives us the individual score of this particular page. We've got a list here of different tasks, and the ones that are red are where you need to look at working on. So for this page, we have image file size, so we have some file issues here. We can actually select certain images, and you can resolve them if you know it's not actually an issue. So what this is saying is these are all over 250 KB. They're too big for the website. You can select all of them, you can compress them and download them straight from this plugin, which is, again, a brilliant feature. It wasn't there initially in the beginning, and it's something that SEOspace have recently added, and it's very helpful. Saves a lot of time. And then we've got alt text. So this is the description of the images on this page. So they need an alt description for usability more than anything. And obviously it does help your SEO if you have that in. So the more of these you can do, the more that they're going to go turn green. We've got things like the SEO title, so the page SEO title. We've got the length, so if it needs to be shorter or longer, it will tell you. Does it exist yet? That's fine. And then we have things like links, so internal and external links on the page. If you've got broken links, you can click on there and it will tell us which one is broken. So at the moment it's this one, so I need to look at that. And then we have the heading. So H1 heading is too long, so the heading on this page here, we need to look at that and we need to get that shortened. And then hopefully we go through these tasks and they'll all turn green. Now this is going to show us where we're doing fine. SSL, which comes with Squarespace anyway. SEO description is good, so it's the right size. It has the keyword if we're using one. The URL is fine. Indexing, this page has been indexed on Google, and the word count is good. So what we want to do is we want to aim to get all of these green as best you can, or as high as you can, get this score to as close to 100 as possible. And when we do this on as many pages as you can on the website, it's going to improve the overall score. And just having this plugin on here just gives you that prompt and that boost to kind of go, right, let's get all these green. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I like to have a checklist where I can go, yeah, I've done that. And this is essentially what this plugin does for you. And it's really helpful because it's kind of, I've learned loads from this, you know, in terms of description lengths, making sure that links are correct and the word counts on pages, and so on. Now that is a basic scan. There's something else that this plugin does, which is excellent. The add keyword scan. So for this, we can actually add a keyword term, and then it's going to scan the page and it's going to tell us everything we're doing correctly with that keyword and anything that we're doing badly. So let's select a keyword, and I'm pretty sure it's probably this one because it's an exterior shading organization. Now we're not global, so I'm going to go to UK, which is my alphabet. There we go. So this is this keyword term I want to scan this page for. Now, it's definitely worth using a keyword term if you really want to get into the SEO. Definitely recommend using this. And again, you can use the dashboard, find the best keywords for you, or use an external ranking tool, keyword finder tool, get your information, get your spreadsheet ready, get all your keywords that you want to use on certain pages, and then this is your next step. So let's go scan with keyword. And then we have this little page jump up and down while we do the scan. And then it's going to give us a little list. So 71 out of 100, not too bad. We can do some improvements here. So images, again, we've got that same file size issue. So we can rectify that. And then we've got the alt text issue here. Now, if you can, it is always helpful if you can add this keyword term into at least one image alt tag, but make sure it does make sense, because it's more for usability, so more than anything. But if you can get it in, do so. So we're red on content as well, which is the keyword isn't in any subheading on this page. So that's our main heading. This possibly could be a subheading, so we could add it in there, or we could add it into another kind of subheading section, one of these. So yeah, definitely more we can do for that. The primary keyword usage, it's been used 3 times, so we need to up that a little bit more. We need to use the keyword 4+, but not too many, because you don't want to kind of keyword overload. And then the keyword is in the first 100 words, so that's great. I can't see it, but apparently it is here. So that's good. So yeah, so I'm kind of not going to go through every single one. You kind of get the gist, but it's very, very, very helpful to be able to scan by using a keyword term. And then once you've fixed all your issues, you do a rescan, and then it will tell you how much it's improved. And again, that goal is to get it to 100%, and get them in the green, which is very, very nice. So yeah, so that's my kind of basic overview of how SEOspace works. Now, I'm kind of giving it a bit of a review here. So it's also an overview for beginners, but a review. I've been using SEOspace now for around about 3 years, I think. And they've just continued to improve and add more features, and they're really proactive. They're a great team, really supportive. There's a whole kind of forum, a community around it. So you are in safe hands. And it has really improved the SEO. It's improved my SEO offering. So I now do packages for clients. Because I have this tool, it has made life a lot easier. I can report the improvements. We can show exactly how pages are performing against others. We can show competitors information, and it's just a really nice, easy, user-friendly tool. Pricing wise, I think it's fairly competitive. I would possibly, not too sure on the price of the add-ons, perhaps they could be a little bit lower in my opinion. But the overall main subscription prices, I think, are pretty fair. So yeah, it's definitely worth, for me personally, definitely worth the price that I pay for the amount of times I use it. I'm on it every day. It's basically something that I use, on multiple websites, and as I said, every day. So it's definitely worth the price for me. Cost, let's say 4 stars in terms of their support. I would say 5 stars. The user kind of interface, 5 stars, and the overall improvements that you can get from using SEOspace, again, is 5-star for me. So definitely check it out. Have a look, have a play around, try the free one, try the DIY. It's dead easy to move about with your subscriptions, cancel, add on, whatever you like. So I'll provide a link in the video as well if you want to use that. It is an affiliate link, so you'll be helping me out if you do choose to go with SEOspace, so appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully this video helped. If you have any other questions that I haven't answered, please feel free to comment in the video, and subscribe as well if you want to see more videos, more hints and tips from me. So yeah, thank you very much, and take care.